against Spain until 1581, where the
No idea. The Netherlands had to fight for 80 years.
century, the
Wait,
vegetables were
wait,
actually
wait.
white or purple.
Carrots are orange because
Because
of
of
the
the Dutch.
Dutch.
How?
How? What color was carrot before? Hi
Guys,
guys.
welcome back again to the channel. Thank you for stopping by today. We are going to be checking out a video from the channel Countries
Countries
Explained.
explained.
And today we are going to be checking out Netherlands Explained. We are so excited for this one, and I think we'll be having a lot of questions to ask.
Ooh, what shoe is that?
Exactly. I just thought so. What kind of shoe is this? I think it's a traditional shoe.
Is that the shoe that they
I
said that
think.
they was made out of wood?
Oh,
There was a video we checked out where we saw somebody crafting
crafting
it
out a
out.
shoe. And the Dutch has a traditional attire. This is the first
Wow.
time I'm seeing that. Wow. Oh, wow. Netherlands is a very fascinating
Very
place.
warm welcome to you all. We're back with episode number 2 on our journey throughout the world.
Okay.
And this time, we're visiting the
Very
Netherlands because,
fascinating.
why not? My name is Kenan, and I'll be your host here today.
Kenan.
But before we get into things, let's make one thing crystal clear. This is not Holland. Yes, you heard me right. If you're saying
I
Holland,
always
you're
thought so.
doing it wrong. Holland was earlier referred to as a common name for the two provinces, North Holland and South Holland. But as of January 2020, the Dutch government
recently?
officially dropped the nickname of the country. So now
wow.
there's just the Netherlands.
Oh.
Okay?
Yeah.
Well, it actually always was, but yeah, now you know. Let's
I'm
move
so
on.
sorry. No wonder I actually thought it was the Holland, because
Yeah.
prior to this I thought Netherlands is another country on its own. But it's just in 2022 the nickname was dropped. No wonder, because that wasn't new to me. We used to have a bag in the house. They normally write Holland, like Holland. So I
The
always
home
thought
of the
Holland is a...
windmills and tulips.
I'm
But
trying
believe it or
to.
not, there is so much more to this country, like being the
Because-
healthiest people in the world in
What?
regards to diet. Now, how is that possible
Yeah.
with all the cheese that
Cheese.
they eat? Or being the most physically active population of Europe? Well, that one is pretty obvious. It's because
I
they
actually
ride
thought
bikes
cheese is
all
not a
freaking
healthy
day.
meal.
Yeah, trust me when I say this. They love their bicycles.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Before to this time, I actually thought cheese wasn't a healthy meal.
Yeah, me
You too,
too.
yeah. I think in Africa there's a stereotype with cheese like not being part of healthy. Is like I used to refer to cheese as junk food, but since they are healthy because of the cheese they eat.
I think one of the things that will make a cheese healthy is the kind of exercise you do. I think so. I'm just speculating here.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, these giants, yeah, we get into that later on, seem to just have it all. You definitely do not want to miss this episode. So, ladies and gentlemen, cheese lovers and liberal people, we present to you the red, white, and blue, and apparently orange? The
Yeah,
Netherlands.
the Dutch. Yeah, the anthem. You've seen the anthem. Check the
Oh,
video. You're
and
gonna see
hold
one.
your breath because the sea will try to drown you while you're here. Quick country facts. Located in northwestern Europe, this low-lying country, which, by the
No.
way, is the actual meaning of Netherlands, is kind of sandwiched between Belgium and Germany, like most countries in Europe, being close to Germany, that is. With a total area of 41,850 kilometers squared, it's one of the smaller countries in Europe, ranking in on the 32nd place.
Sorry, they just showed a map of the Netherlands, and they kind
Belgium,
of zoomed
yeah.
out. They showed Belgium beside it and Germany
Germany.
beside it. Now, I just want to ask a very quick question. During the World War One or World War Two, did Germany invade Netherlands?
Oh yeah. Oh, how affected was the Netherlands
Netherlands
during
back
those
then.
wars, the World War One and World War Two? How invaded or how
Were they affected?
affected? How much were they affected by the
Please
war?
let us know.
Being close to Germany that much, we want to know.
Regards to land area, right above Moldova and just below, like really just below Switzerland. The Kingdom of the Netherlands also includes a few more places in the world. First, there is a place referred to as the Dutch Caribbean that contains the islands of Bonaire, St. Eustatius, and Saba. Then there's a few more islands that separately belong to the kingdom and go under the name of the ABC Islands, named Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire again.
Oh, that's the
Then there's
ABC.
also the island named Sint Maarten. The North Sea
Yeah,
is
I've heard of
located to
that.
the north and west of the Netherlands, and it's continually eating the land itself. In fact, there is a Dutch saying, God made the earth, but the Dutch
Made
Holland.
Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had that.
Yes, I know. I said there was no such thing as Holland.
Yeah, you said that.
As I mentioned earlier, which is where most of Dutch people live nowadays. But don't get it twisted here. The country is called the Netherlands, nothing else. But what did they mean by that saying? Well, in fact, almost a third of the Netherlands is below.
I'm so sorry, but why do they stop? Why did the government remove Holland as the nickname? I want to know why. Because it's just so recent and
I don't know.
please help me down
Sea
there.
level. And if it wasn't for the people, the Dutch country wouldn't even be there today. The Dutch came out strong, fighting the sea itself by building a series of canals, dams, dikes, and pumping stations that over the years made it possible for the water to go through the country rather than over it. And today, there are more than 4,400 kilometers of dikes, rivers, and canals shielding the low-lying country. This is also the reason for all the windmills you see around the country. They were simply used to drain the land of water and help the Dutch survive. Oh, and there's 3 major rivers that cross the country to help with the flow of the water. They're named the Meuse, the Scheldt, and the Rhine. So, with whatever land surface the Dutch had remaining, they had to be creative with it and find innovative solutions for everything. And I guess they did, because they have about 17.5 million people living in this area. Something that makes the Netherlands the most densely populated country in the European Union, and in fact, one of the most densely populated countries in the world.
Wow.
Dutch is the official language of the country, a language most similar to German, if anything. Dutch, or Netherlandic as it can also be called,
Netherlandic.
but probably shouldn't, is also spoken in Belgium with a bit of a dialect, but here it's called Flemish. Most people in the country also speak
Flemish.
English and often a bit of German or French as well. Then there's Frisian, which is spoken in the northern Friesland region. Also, it's
Friesland.
worth mentioning that the Afrikaans language
Is
of
that
South
Friesland?
Africa is basically Dutch with an African twist. The
Mm.
religion of the Netherlands is kinda
You know
Roman
that.
Catholics, but I say kinda because only about 20% of the population identify with this religion. Actually, about half of the country's population don't identify with any particular religion at all. Today, the Netherlands embodies the liberal middle road of having both freedom of religion as well as freedom from religion. And there's a strong growth of Ietsism, which can be described as a faith without a religion. So basically a person saying, I don't believe in God, but I do think there is something out there. The flag of the Netherlands consists of 3 horizontal striped lines, with the colors red, white, and blue. In the early days, the red stripe was actually orange to symbolize the Prince of Orange, which
Yeah.
the rebel province fought under, in the independence war against Spain between the years 1568 and 1648. But since red was easier to see at sea, how do you like that pun? They changed the orange to red. And so, these have been the official color since the 19th of February 1937 when Queen Wilhelmina made the decision. However, most of us have seen the orange color still being representative of the Netherlands, especially in different sport events. So, what's up with that? The simple answer to that orange color refers to the Dutch royal family, the House of Orange-Nassau.
So tall.
And their ancestor, William of Orange,
You know, I
who is
didn't
the
understand,
founding
you just-
father of the Netherlands. But this kind of turns us into the history segment of things, so let's jump right in there, shall we? History segment. Alright, so try to keep up now because we have a lot to cover, and I'm running out of space with this script. But for the purpose of history, let's bring ourselves back to the prehistoric times of roughly 250,000 BP, to a place called the Low Countries. This place is generally understood to include the territory of what today are referred to as the Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg. This is where we find the first remains of human life in the Netherlands. But take a leap in time until the year 1275 and the founding of Amsterdam, the greatest planned city of Northern Europe. This city has always been well known in history and played
Wow.
a very central part in the history of the Netherlands. Then, in 1568, Spain came to ruin all the fun. With the Spanish king and his governor in the forefront, they tried to dominate the Netherlands and introduce its taxation there. So there was war.
Wait,
war,
Spain invaded
Yeah.
Netherlands.
War, then a little bit of war, and some war to that as well. All in all, we're looking at 80 years worth of war against Spain until 1581, where the
No idea the Netherlands had to fight for 80 years.
That's insanely long.
I think majority of these wars are not just 1 year, 2 years. They last for a long time. Taking lives, taking resources of people, man. What?
And all for what? Probably for land space.
Yeah, for domination.
Or ego or pride.
Oh, this is crazy. I didn't even know they fought like this much. I was thinking Netherlands is one of those countries that didn't have to go through
Any
series
form of
of
war.
wars and all of that.
United Provinces declared their independence from Spain. Then comes the discovery period, or the golden age of colonialism, if you so will. And boy, oh boy, was the Dutch a force to be reckoned with here. They expanded all over the world and discovered new lands left and right. From America to Asia, Africa, and South America, the Dutch had colonized them all.
Oh,
Yeah, they colonized America.
They discovered new land, the America, Asia, Africa, and once upon a time the Dutch colonized America.
That's insane. Like, this is the first time I'm hearing something like this. Wow.
Even Asia, Africa, South America. Who
So
are
by
these
the
guys?
mid-17th century, they were actually the biggest maritime power in Europe. Yeah, suck on that, Spain. One of the more notable stories is the one of how Director General of the Dutch West India Company, Peter Minuit, bought the entire Manhattan Island for $24.
What?
But
Huh?
is it true, though? No, it's not.
Okay.
Story has it Peter offered some trinkets and glass, which with today's value would be around $24, in
Wow.
exchange for ownership of the land to some natives he ran into. Peter felt like a boss,
Yeah.
obviously, since he had done the deal of, well, ever. But the deal didn't turn out that well in the end. First, the natives who sold him the land didn't actually own it. Sorry, Peter, you've been scammed. And also, the Dutch turned out to have very little interest in colonizing the area after all. This led to
Okay.
the English naval force simply sailing into the harbor in 1664 and took over New Amsterdam without firing a single shot. Charles II of England then later gave the territory to his brother James II of England, the Duke of York, and the land was later named New York. The Netherlands then started a slow but constant economical growth and implemented important constitutional reforms, which led them to be a liberal and modern state. In World War I, the country remained neutral. But in World War II,
neutral.
like most of the European countries, they were invaded by German troops in 1940. After a few years under terror of the Nazis, the whole country began to suffer the burden of war. So when the Nazis tried to incorporate the Netherlands into the Third Reich, they fought back. After the difficult years of trying to reconstruct the country right after World War II,
Wow.
the Netherlands had exponential economic growth in the second half of the 20th century. And today, they're one of the most developed and wealthiest countries in the world. Fun facts. So what's some fun facts about the Netherlands? Well, for starters, Dutch men are the tallest in the world.
In the
They
world.
have been on top for quite some time now, with an average length of 1.83 meters, but the women aren't exactly short either, averaging at 1.69 meters, only losing out to the women of Latvia.
Oh wow, I'm so sorry. What make them that tall? Like, what do they eat that make them that,
I don't
like,
know.
little tall?
Like, I
They're
think it's
giants.
genetic.
Genetics, right?
Yeah, I think so.
There's
They're
absolutely
Because,
fascinating
bro,
fact about this
I feel
country.
like we eat more
Did
than
you know that the carrots are orange because of the Dutch? Back in the 10th century, the
Wait,
vegetables
wait,
were actually
wait.
white or purple.
Carrots are orange because of the Dutch.
How?
How? What color was carrot before? Purple.
Is it white or purple? Carrots.
But as you know, orange is a
Did they add
big
coloring?
deal in the Netherlands. So, as a tribute to William the Orange, the Dutch farmers tried to make their carrots orange, and we all know the results of that. Then there's the flowers, or more
did you
specifically,
spread-
the
Ow.
tulips.
I'm sorry. If carrot was white and purple before, so how did the orange colored carrot dominate all
All the
over the
others.
world? I just feel like that's not true.
I thought the orange one would be like specific to a certain.
Yeah, or probably the whole of European, but not Asian, African. All the whole continent there.
Remember, they discovered and colonized Africa.
It does not mean
America.
our carrot will automatically start growing orange.
Could be because when they were here at that period, they might have.
So why won't we see
Altered
any
it.
white or purple carrots? That's
Yeah,
I
there
feel
was no
like
actually
that's
saying-
not epic. It's so hard to believe.
Understatement that these are a big part of the Netherlands. But did you know that about 75% of the entire world's flower bulbs are exported from the Netherlands? Pretty crazy when you think about it. As we mentioned earlier, the Dutch have been a really clever people, using their creativity to find ways to save their land from the sea trying to drown them. One of the things they made are windmills. And there are actually over 1,000 of them throughout the country. And speaking of
that's
being
a lot.
creative, the city of Amsterdam is in fact completely built on top of over 1 million wooden poles, which extends around 12 meters into the ground. The city
What?
was built on a very wet, swampy land, so talk about trying to see the possibilities instead of focusing on things being impossible. And if you didn't know, they love bikes. They love them so much that the Dutch own more bicycles than any other country in the world. About 22 million of them are present in the country, so that's
Wow.
more than one per person on average. Did I mention that they love bikes? So what famous people does this country have? And what things are they known for in the world? Well, besides bikes, tulips, and windmills, there are a few more things that they should have credit for. Well, for starters, it's home of the world's first stock exchange, established in 1602 by the Dutch East India Company. If you've ever been to the Netherlands, chances are small you've missed that they like cheese. The Dutch have a long history of cheese making, but the most famous one is without a doubt the Gouda cheese.
Gouda.
Then
This is the
there
first time I'm
Vincent
hearing
van
that.
Gogh. Most of us have heard this extremely famous painter.
Yeah,
He's one of the most
same.
influential figures in Western art, and he made over 2,000 artworks in his lifetime.
Wow.
His most notable works being Starry Night, Sunflowers, and The Siesta.
Wow.
This country is just amazing! And it would take me a day to tell you every single thing about this place. We could mention Anne Frank, football, Rembrandt, licorice, beer, and probably a million other things.
Is Anne Frank Dutch?
Dutch. Who is she
Anne
actually?
Frank is a iconic lady that lived through. She didn't actually live through World War II, but she documented her diaries, like when the war started, and it's such a sad story. One of the first of many books I've read in my life.
As
Wow.
well. But the space on my script has come to an end yet again. So, what did you think of the video? Did you learn anything?
None
If
of
you're
those
from the
good
Netherlands,
cheese.
what did we miss? I'd love to hear your opinions so I can keep making better and better videos. Until next week, take care.
Bye.
So that's
Wow.
it's such an interesting video. It's so packed with a lot of information, and a lot of questions was asked during the video, and we would really love answers to them.
Why
and
was
response.
Netherlands neutral in World War One?
Exactly, one of the questions.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, mind you, this is speculation. I think that was the reason why they invaded them in World War Two.
No, I don't think so. I feel like they tried to be neutral in World War II, but I think World War II was Hitler actually just went all bizarre in
Okay,
claiming land, so he just wanted
yeah.
to. I know, and seeing that they are very close
To them,
is a great way to start. I know they needed allies, they needed people, they needed weapons, they needed a lot of things. So
they needed soldiers. Wow.
it's one of those many videos that.
Leaves you speechless.
Yeah, oh, I love it. I love it. So we need response in the comment section, and keep your recommendations coming as well. I'll see you on our next one. To this.